are gearing up for this weekend's weather. We have helpful tips for how to prepare, plus how the Palmetto State is reacting. And heavy flooding is hitting North Myrtle Beach. Here's a live picture at how bad it's looking right now. All these stories and your first alert forecast right after tonight's lottery drawing.
Already seeing our first round of flooding. You notice HD Doppler radar.
We have breaking news right now. 4 people are dead after a plane crash that happened near the South Carolina and Georgia border. Responders went searching for the small plane after receiving reports that it went down. Emergency services were able to locate the plane on both the ground and in the waters of Lake Hartwell. The Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board are en route to the site. As soon as we have more information, we'll bring it to you on air and online. In North Myrtle Beach tonight, roads are closing due to flooding. WMBF News reporter Caitlin Stansel is live there now with the latest on what's happening in the area. Caitlin.
Lisa, you can see behind me, we're in North Myrtle Beach. This is 14th Avenue South. Right up here, you can see there is a fire truck at the Atlantic Breeze Hotel.
Thank you, Caitlin. And here is some video from one of our photographers of Highway 31 and 22. A few hours ago, heavy rain is falling and will continue to fall this weekend. A reminder to all drivers, especially what we just saw with Caitlin, to be careful on driving on the roads, to just avoid them at all costs. And more video of the roads closing due to weather. Here is Highway 57 closed at Highway 9. You can see the police lights blocking off the roads. Stay with WMBF News to receive updates on road closures in the future. The PD has been preparing all day long for the rainfall we're experiencing right now. Audrey Bisk caught up with crews and she joins us live now with Darlington. Thank you, Audrey. And take a look at some pictures that the Pawleys Island Police Department tweeted out today. Earlier, they said people were to avoid driving onto the island due to hazardous flooding on the roads. Though roads have reopened a couple hours later, police are still urging drivers to use caution when driving on these roads. If you want immediate updates about this weekend's weather and keep track of Hurricane Joaquin, you can sign up to receive alerts from our First Alert weather team. And all you need to do is go to our website at www.wmbfnews.com, go to the weather tab and click on the text and alerts and emails and fill out the information. You'll then be registered and receive alerts with weather happening today and in the future. Due to the weather this weekend, multiple events, unfortunately, along the Grand Strand have been canceled. The Little River Community Cleanup, the Walk and Race for Life, the 8th Annual Oktoberfest, and the Carolina Sessions Reggae Music Festival are just a handful of festivities that have to be postponed. The new dates for the events have not been rescheduled yet. You can find more events cancellations for this upcoming weekend by heading to our website. One event that won't need to be rescheduled because of the weather, Jam and Leather's auction benefiting the American Red Cross. Owner Jamie Keats tells me the event has raised $4,000 to $8,000 for the organization in the past. Donations, the Red Cross tells me, are very much appreciated, especially when it comes to weekends like this one, with the threat of severe weather and families may be needing help. The auctions are held during both the spring and fall bike rallies. Keats says compared to other charities they've worked with in the past, the American Red Cross always attracts the most people and raises the most money. He feels this is because many of those in the biker community are tied to the military.
In general, the biker community is a lot to do with military, and there's a lot of association military with Red Cross. So it actually benefited the Red Cross better than other charities in the past. That's really what it was.
The event will be inside tomorrow in the GTS Theater next door to Jam and Leather. This event is open to the public and will be from 2 to 6 p.m. We have new video tonight of a boat being rescued by the Coast Guard earlier this morning. Officials say they assisted in a helicopter rescue, lifting 3 people out of a 45-foot boat that was taking on water. One of the people suffered a leg injury and was having a hard time breathing. The 3 people were then taken to Myrtle Beach International Airport, and that's where they met EMS for further evaluation. One person died after a fire in Little River today. Horry County Fire Department says Earl Johnson from Little River died at the scene on Lincoln's Heights Road. Preliminary cause of death is smoke inhalation. Horry County Fire Department and Horry County Police Department are investigating the fire. In Georgetown County, a mother and her son died in a car accident earlier today. South Carolina Highway Patrol says a Kenworth log truck and trailer collided with the Chevy Malibu after the Malibu crossed the center line of the road. The Georgetown County coroner says The two in the Malibu, 26-year-old Erica Avent and her son, 6-year-old Derek Avent Jr., both died from multiple body trauma. Both of them were wearing their seatbelts. Highway Patrol says the driver of the log truck was not injured. Right now, the Florence County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help identifying a suspect. Sheriffs are looking for the suspect connected to a theft of a utility trailer and a golf cart that happened on September 21st. Investigators say the trailer and golf cart were stolen from the locations on Kintyre Road in Florence County. The golf cart is described as being black in color with a pinstripe. The utility trailer is described as 6 by 12, also black, having a closed tailgate. If anyone has any information on the theft, please call police. Republican presidential candidates were in the Palmetto State today. Here are their reactions on the recent gun violence in Oregon. Coming up on WNBF News at 7.
He's best at most country.
Republican presidential candidate Jeb Bush was in South Carolina to be part of a constitutional conversation. The former South Florida governor was in Greenville for the forum moderated by Attorney General Alan Wilson. The first in this presidential campaign series was held last month with former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. South Carolina holds the South's first Republican presidential primary on February 20th. In the Palmetto State today, Carly Fiorina. She met with Senator Tim Scott as one of Tim's town hall meetings. The Republican presidential hopeful says federal spending needs to be put on a diet. The former CEO told voters at a town hall meeting this afternoon that as president, she would demand that federal agencies account for each dollar requested in their budgets. She also talked about the mass shooting that happened yesterday in Oregon. She says more must be known about the alleged shooter before rushing to judgment on whether universal background checks could have prevented the massacre.
The president's comments last night, premature at best, and at worst, a really unfortunate politicization of this tragedy.
It's the day after the shooting at Umpqua Community College, and today many are mourning the death of the 10 people. One man, originally from North Carolina, is being hailed a hero after he tried to stop the gunman. Chris Mintz, who graduated from Randleman High School in Randolph County, North Carolina. His family says he has spent the last 10 years in Oregon. Chris's aunt, Wanda Mintz, says he was able to speak with his loved ones before going into surgery. He told them that he heard gunshots in another classroom, and that's when he tried to keep the gunman from entering his classroom.
Crying and shock, you hear about this and you watch TV and you see this, but when it happens to your family, you're just on the floor. It's just unbelievable.
Mintz spent most of his yesterday in surgery after receiving 7 gunshots during the attack. His family says both of his legs are broken and he will have to relearn how to walk, but he is now recovering and expected to survive. No vital organs were hit. Coming up on WNBF News at 7, find out how homeowners all over South Carolina are preparing for the upcoming weekend weather. Many homeowners in Columbia are also getting ready today. That includes those living in low-lying neighborhoods and by bodies of water. People who live in these neighborhoods say they have a small creek to deal with, and it runs pretty close to several homes that are level with the water. Many people we spoke to said they also went to the store today to stock up on supplies they may need.
We just stocked up on food, bottled water, everything that you want to get through the weekend comfortably. And so other than that, just taking high ground and going with it.
In many cases, emergency officials want homeowners to be aware of their surroundings going into tomorrow. The teen who was charged with attempted murder for planning a massacre at Socastee High School in 2011 was released yesterday. Christian Helms was only 15 years old when he was charged as an adult. His plans were to shoot resource officer Eric Carney and several other students at the school. Helm also had pipe bombs. The judge in this case said Helms would be kept in the Department of Juvenile Justice with treatment until he was 17. In December 2011, Helms was sentenced to 6 years in prison as well as probation for attempted murder. He is now 19 years old. Part of Governor Nikki Haley's task force on domestic violence met today. The Victim and Offender Services Division of the governor's domestic violence task force had a meeting to review the status of a recommendation the panel has made. South Carolina has long ranked among the nation's worst in violence against women. The governor created the task force in January. Although the rain is coming down, some high school football games must go on. Find out what games are still happening. Plus, is CCU's homecoming game still on the schedule? Find out next.